You can take your time. God knows you're taking all of mine. Just don't leave me behind. Now that our love is on the line.
In 2019, Moonlight Zoo won a global competition in New York City. They performed in front of a live audience in Times Square. They have come to the FSC studio to talk about their success and how they write their music. Hello, welcome back to FSC Podcast. Today we have Jamie Adamson and John Muir Jr. with us in the studio.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Yes, thanks for having us along, guys.
You're very welcome. So you're both in a band called Moonlight Zoo.
So basically, we became pals from you coming along to shows a lot. And then it kind of like sort of like you were just like there so much to the point where it was like, well, this guy does sound production and he's like really good. So why don't we ask John to be like our like official band tech? So you were doing that for a bit. And then lockdown happened. And our old bassist, who now plays keys. This is confusing. Yeah. And now plays keys for us, like as like sort of like session on like bigger shows. He had to move to Aberdeen, so we needed to get a new bassist. And John stepped up to the plate and learnt all the tunes. And it was a natural progression for you, man, because you just like your commitment was there.
Yeah.
So well done, man. Well done, bro.
Thank you.
Is that your version of the story, John?
Well, it is. There's a small detail I missed. Is I actually messaged Jamie when I used to go to the shows, but before I knew him, I'd messaged him. I think I was asking something about a guitar part or something. One of the tunes they're asking about, like
that's
a recording thing.
Breaking or
something.
Broken. You were like, how do you play Breaking or Broken? But you actually already knew how to play it.
I knew how to play it, but I'd messaged him, and he didn't answer me for like a year and a bit. And then he finally just messaged back like it was just new, like it was just like a message on his phone. He's just like, "Oh hey man, it's this is like," and didn't even acknowledge the fact that it was like a year later on the thing. So
that's true, by the way.
Good.
Can I just say something though? Can I just like disclosure?
Yes.
It was actually because I didn't have an iPhone and you couldn't see your like message requests. Mm-hmm. You couldn't see them. You had to like go into them, and then you were there, man. Yeah. Dude, I've said sorry.
I know, and I'm gonna hold that over you because I'm really bad with my phone, so I don't answer like messages sometimes, or I don't answer the phone. So like that's always.
Yeah. He's trying to be the new album.
That's it.
Well, it sounds like it's very nice of John to even be in this band.
Yeah.
If you ignored him for a year.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's very shocking behaviour from me.
But you did have songs released before John was in the band.
Mm.
Yeah, so how did the band originally form?
So I used to do like just solo gigs, acoustic, before I was even like ever in any band. So it's just like from doing that, and then just like meeting like-minded people doing that, who were also like growing a little bit fed up of being solo. Mm-hmm. And then like we just decided to sort of like come together and just try something. We all met in PJs. And like I think just from us all just like going to PJs all the time just to play either gigs or like to see other bands that were playing, and just kind of got pals with Sean. Had a bit of an interesting first impression with Sean though, because Sean, for those of you watching this who don't know, is the other singer and like main lyricist of the band. He used to play in a band called Crayons, and they were like really, really good band, and I really like kind of looked up to them, and they'd been playing the night before, and Sean was working in PJs behind the bar, and it was an incredibly busy night, and he looked rather stressed, and I came up to him and I was like, "Oh man, I seen the show the other night. It was like it was like really good. Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Well, he was like, and he looked at me and he was like, just good. I was like, see you later. And I like we didn't speak like literally until like I got like invited like into the group by him. And then he was like a totally different person.
It's great.
And I was just like, and I remind him to this day of this, and he can't remember it.
So you're all very good at first impressions then.
Yeah, I feel there's a common denominator.
I nailed mine.
There's a common denominator, and I feel it's about you, man. Like you're the one that's in both these situations.
That's true.
Richie's first impression was cool too, though. Like how Richie
Oh
came
yeah,
that was really weird.
Okay, so that was like the sort of like the first like like of like that pretty much answered your question. Like the band getting together was all through PJs, and meeting there. But the way Richie joined the band was like it was so bizarre. How weird was that? Do you want to talk about that?
Richie is the drummer.
He's the
Yeah.
drummer.
Of Moonlight Zoo.
Richie is the drummer of Moonlight Zoo. Yeah.
It was really strange. Me and Jamie had a cover set in PJs one night. I think it was like just like a Friday, like 12 till 3 or something like that, like the late one. And Richie was like just moved here from down south. He's in like his work. He was down south, and now he got kind of brought up here. And he'd not long been there, and he just went out. It was like PJs, like where he got told, it was kind of like music and stuff on. And he'd seen like Jamie, and then I jumped up with Jamie, and then in the kind of break, he like came and spoke to you, and was like, "Are you in a band?" Like, "Oh, I guess I'm sorry." I'm just kind of saying stuff about that, and you're like, "I'm sorry, I'm already in one." And then when Reese had left, you were like thinking of people that could kind of like go,
Yeah.
Like, and then like we thought about him, we were like, he said he played drums, and he's like,
Yeah.
and then but what's really strange about it is, I mean, like it's like we're in a big country, we're in like a big fan of Big Country, and like the drummer of like he's weirdly like the drummer from Big Country,
Yeah,
plays like trad grap,
Very
and he's
military
like
style.
yeah, and he's like from down south. And then when he kind of came in, we did like PJ sessions through lockdown where we went in and like played like songs, and like we were all standing in that same like band room like a year on, but like, and then that was 3 out of the 4 Moonlight Zoo sitting there at the time,
Yeah.
but it was just you. It was
Yeah,
really weird. It just like turned out.
Yeah, it was just like one of those total meant to be moments.
Yeah.
Like we sent him the songs, and like within like half an hour, like he sent me a video back, like playing pretty much them all.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we'll get this guy in for a trial, but like he doesn't need it.
Doesn't need
Nah.
one.
Yeah, he's
And
great.
he's obviously like a really like great like musician in his own right, so
Yeah.
he got in.
Great. Well, it sounds like it's all really coming together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah. So lockdown.
Oh yeah.
You did PJs and stuff in lockdown. You were saying.
Yeah, we did. It was just a couple of sessions, like covers. We were like thinking of stuff we could do. Because I mean, it was really weird. Richie had been in the band for nearly a year at this point.
Yeah.
Never done a gig, and like
Yeah,
I think
it
Rich.
was so strange.
I think I was on the first gig with Richie, and I like joined after him. So it was like weird. But before like the kind of gigs came back, we had like put some covers together and wanted to like make some sessions. We thought PJs would be a cool place to do them because you'd always played PJs like once a year at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So we did them in there, and Sean kind of filmed them, and then I did the sound on them, and then that was like we just kind of put them out.
Yeah.
It was good though. I think it was a Miley Cyrus one, and then Prince.
We did a Prince cover, yeah.
Prince,
Yeah, Raspberry Beret.
that's that.
Classic.
So how did lockdown and COVID and everything affect you guys as a band? Because you had a lot going on just before.
We just won this like worldwide competition through the Hard Rock Cafe, and basically like what it transpired to was the top 3 bands in this competition got flown out to New York for 3 or 4 days, and the final was at the Hard Rock Cafe on Times Square. So we played that show, and then like won it, and then had like a little bit of prize money to go and like record and do stuff. Then we got back, we did a couple of shows, we had quite a lot of momentum. I remember coming back, and like me and Sean just did like radio interviews like for like 2 weeks straight. It was like mad. And we had all this momentum, and then like COVID hit, and it kind of like sort of took the wind out of everyone's sails a little bit. I didn't really know what to do with myself for the first month, it was like not good. And I think everybody was kind of the same. But then like we started to sort of like find ways that we could like make use of our time. And then we just kind of like used that time to like write as much as possible. Like, so I just wrote music every day, like every single day, like an insane person. So yeah. And then like now what that equates to is we've got like, we'll say an album's worth of songs.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we just picked like the best bunch out of that. And like it totally like changed like our perspective of thinking as well. Like it's really been beneficial for the writing on a whole because we've been isolated and we've been like we were like forced to like write in like a really like kind of sort of like unnatural and like different method.
Yeah.
So like everything is like being like sent in like little parts, and it's all like really like it was all like kind of like sort of put together.
Yeah. I think it was, no one could really expect how long it was going to be, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, saying to someone, I'd seen like, someone, like, just the day before they like, locked down, and then I was like, I'll see you in, like, a couple of weeks, and then, like, I didn't see him for, like, 2 years or whatever, but, because of that, because I never knew when it was, like, ending, I felt like it was really day-to-day, and, like, that probably helped so much with that. If we got told, definitely. Like, this is going to be 2 years, I think it would just take the energy out of you completely.
Yeah,
but because it was, like, you thought it could end any time and you had to get like back to gigging, you're just kind of like, it's the only thing you could do, just play music and like do music and stuff. But it's really cool. I think it, like you said, it did, the way that like the songs are kind of getting put together and like written now is like very much because of lockdown.
Yeah,
but it's like worked out that it's like kind of the best way for us to do it.
It's like mine and Sean's like writing relationships like really blossomed in this period because like we found this like formula that works really well, and that like he will write like about like, apart from like one or two songs, like 80% of the lyrics, 90% of the lyrics, and sometimes it will like, Sean is as like, as far as I'm concerned, a total lyrical genius. Like I think his lyrics are absolutely unbelievable, and he's the best like lyric writer like I know around just now. So it's like, it's always amazing to work with someone like that, and he's been doing it for such a long time now. And what now happens is we'll get like lyrics on a sheet or almost like in like a poem form, and then I will then compose like and arrange all the music around that and write the melodies, and then we'll have sometimes we'll have like a drum part, like a MIDI drum part for Richie to do, but then like I send it to him and then he sends it back and it's always something so much better than I've done. I'm like, this is what I hear in the background. And like the same with John as well, like well like your bass parts, so like it's like always like it's not until like we get like that like final sort of like stamp on it that it becomes an actual like fully fledged Moonlight Zoo song. And it's good because it's like it goes through like a, you know, like it's like it's going through like the perfection machine multiple times before we get to this like end product where we're like, right, this is what we're happy with. Yeah.
What's quite good about it as well, I think, is like everybody can like put a bit in to other parts too. Like Richie's quite a musical drummer. He's obviously like he's the most musical. Like he reads sheet music and like can arrange like orchestra things and stuff. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so it's like Sibelius doing that. So like he can like hear like maybe a part of the bass line. He's like, oh, you maybe do it this way, and like sing it to me. He can't maybe play it, but he'll know how it goes in his head. Yeah, and like there's been so many bits where like it's all kind of been chipped in from different folk in that way. Like Richie said, oh, like maybe you should do it this way or whatever. So it's really cool that like that kind of happens. And it's like, I think with these ones, partly again, like we said, because of how long like we had with them, so much changed in them. Even in like before I was there, they changed so much already. But like even after, it was like it just kept going right until we were in the studio. And like, I mean, it was booked from before, wasn't it? Like it was booked and then it kind of got cancelled a couple of times and got moved. Got pushed back. It was kind of a blessing in disguise that happened, because there was like a lot of bits that are in the songs now that like wouldn't have been if we just went and recorded them the first chance. You know?
Sort of like force you to take more time on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was like 6 months of pre-production.
Yeah,
Instead of,
yeah, it really was.
like a
And
week.
kind of grateful for it now because
Aye.
we were, you know, we were like full steam ahead with it, and like now in hindsight, we've had that like little extra time. Things have changed for the better. I've been like, we've been getting like loads of like DMs on the Instagram, like messages from like fans and friends, and it's been like, what's happened? Like, when are the songs coming out? And I'm like, everything's just like, you know, like, please just be patient. Like they're very very much on their way. But yeah, thinking later in the year, like second half of the year, we'll be releasing the first of our original music that we have banked up.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
You were playing some of them the other day, right? You had was it your first gig of the year?
I think
It
it
will be,
was,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
apart from when me and John are obviously always like we'll play in here quite a lot and stuff.
Yeah.
Doing the acoustic set, but like we got like a chance to like properly like road test the new material, and yeah, it was just like at the Harley Davidson garage in Edinburgh.
Very cool.
Yeah,
So
they were
yeah,
great.
we got to sit on some Harleys and like pretend we were cool. I was there with someone else's Harley Davidson t-shirt that I borrowed. It was very cool.
Yeah.
And
Had
yeah.
the leather jacket
I
on.
had my leather jacket on. I was like trying to
Try
blend
fit
in. I didn't have the chaps. I didn't have the leather chaps, but I was trying. And it went down really well. And yeah, it's just like it was like one of those gigs where it's just like we're like, right, okay, we've put so much into this like live show now as well. The recordings are there up like at this standard, the live shows at this standard, like let's like go out and like start like testing this. So that's kind of what it was about the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think like John at the High thing as well. He's from Dunfermline. He was really like he likes the music scene in Dunfermline quite a lot. And he was saying like he kind of liked the idea of like getting us through and doing it. They always have something like some kind of music, and we done the covers before, like a month before or whatever. So we ended up doing the wee cover set anyway that like time. But it was cool to actually road test like the kind of songs to people that don't know us at all.
Yeah.
And some folks said they were kind of cool, you know. Like maybe not like what they were like expecting. I think they were probably expecting some like covers like Aerosmith or whatever. Like, but it didn't turn out that way. But they got that.
Sean had like made the joke that we play at biker meets all the time.
All the time.
And
Tell by looking at
it
us.
went down like a lead balloon. Like, but it was so funny. Like, but nobody else laughed.
Yeah, it's funny. It was a good gig though. It was good.
That's good. You have a couple more gigs coming up pretty soon, right?
Yeah, we've got like a couple like scattered over the summer. But we're not really like looking to like take on any more like shows or like tour just now until like we have music out. But we've got a support slot for our friends band Cloud House. Now they're a really cool band. They're from Glasgow. So that is on the 30th of July.
Yeah, I think so.
30th of July. So we're going to go and do that with them. It's in stereo, by the way, if anyone wants to come along. And little plug there, 30th of July, stereo, Glasgow. If you want to come see the Zoo Boys, that'll be a good one. And I think they're going to come and like maybe we'll do a couple of gig spots with them. So yeah, looking forward to that. We've got Rockcore Festival.
Yeah, we've got that as well.
Doing Rockcore Festival. And a couple other little bits and bobs, but like we'll be looking to actually do like a proper tour at the end of the year on the back of like a single coming out.
Yeah, well, I'd kind of not realised, I think, at the start, like, I'd never went through, like, releasing, like, you've obviously done releases and stuff with, like, the other boys in the past, but, like, how much goes into it. Like, we're planning on releasing it at the end of the, like, kind of later half of the year, but I think we'll need, like, all the time from now till then to really get everything ready for it, which is, so I think, like, yeah, we'll just focus on that until it's kind of ready, and then some more gigs.
Yeah.
But it'll be good.
Well, what was it like for you coming into the band? As like if you hadn't been in a band before?
Nah, so it was really strange. It was weird because I'd seen them so much. Like I remember the first, like it was really weird, like playing songs that I went to watch so many times. But I went for the first gig I did with you. I did like one. I used to go up in my PJs and stuff, like the acoustic. So I'd done them, but I'd never like played kind of like bigger gigs or like with a band. And then I did one. It was a Dollar Academy's leaving day, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Dollar Cat. But by the way, he's totally downplaying this.
Yeah.
This was a
It was big.
big setup. Like they had a huge festival stage, and a carousel, just
Yeah,
like
carousel.
random and like shows and stuff, and it was wild.
Just
Yeah,
for
I
their
mean-
like end of year.
Yeah, it was like
party.
spared
Yeah.
no expense. Like let's go for this.
Wow.
Yeah, I
So-
barely got a Leavers jumper when I left school. But,
Same.
they had it all. They pulled out all the stops. I remember like phoning you when I got there, and I'm like, "What is this?" Like you said, it's like upended. Like it looked like it was a festival, but it was really cool. And we kind of like we took it as like a Moonlight Zoo thing, but we were just doing the covers. So we'd not even really had that much time to like rehearse. You know, like we'd had it, but we'd never like we were rehearsing Moonlight Zoo stuff. But it was good. Like it worked out kind of cool. And I think that's like when I got the bug for it. Like I've done the cover gigs and enjoyed them in the past, but like that's when I was like, no, this is great. Like I love this. I want to do it all the time. So it was really cool. But like playing the first gig playing like the actual Moonlight Zoo songs were like, it was in broadcast with Richie.
Yeah,
It was his first gig as well. And it was quite strange. But then we had like, I've only done like 3 more since then,
Yeah,
really. And it was like PJ's was the big one. So
we've been pretty much
really good.
focused like on writing constantly and trying to get like try to get like this like the sound for this album like across every single song. So yeah, that's kind of what we've been focusing on.
It sounds like your writing process is quite collaborative. Is that the same for like recording and everything? Do you all sort of?
yeah, it's, I mean,
contribute?
like a lot of these ones kind of, like the songs that are kind of coming out, I think they kind of came through demos a lot. You kind of just like would layer stuff and just like keep going with it and send it through. But we're recording, it's like, this time we done like a pre-production with Bruce. We recorded with Bruce Rinto in Glasgow. And yeah, it was really good. We had him in for like a rehearsal, and he kind of like just said his piece on them. And then when we went in, it was just like drums for a couple of days. Because this will be the first time you kind of recorded like a whole bunch of songs
Yes,
in like one setting.
in
So
a 1 hour, yeah.
it was a little bit different, I suppose, to how it would have been for us in the past. But
Yeah, we had like a day of like in the studio, like a full like 2 days. In fact, it was more than that, like solid, just tracking drums. And I remember like for one of the songs, it was like literally just like Richie had like about like 14 toms all lined up, and he was like like for like a whole day, and I was like I felt like so like insane after like I was just like sitting in the control room like listening to like all the takes and getting like the perfect one. It's just like, oh my god, like I am actually like, this is mad. Like
yeah, what was really good about it though was because like it was quite a big like it was multiple days on drums, and then like the guitars and stuff took time. So like, by the time we came to do the vocals, it'd been like a few weeks. Like we'd had like it was split up, so we kind of like hadn't really heard them in ages. And then when we went back in and listened to them like more rounded and more kind of close to finished, it was just like really cool hearing them that way and like more polished. Which like, you know, it is weird when you're just hearing like the same drums or like drums and bass all like over and over. But when like the vocals got put down, we were like, all right, these are coming together and sounding good.
Yeah, it's getting perspective on the track. Like when you have that break, because like by the end of the day, like when you first go in, you're like, this is great. Yeah, this is sounding great, lads. Yes, let's do this. By the end of the day, you're like, is this good? Is it, like I've like listened to this like all day, and like that's usually the answer. Like if it gets to the end of the day, and you're like, okay, it's it's still actually all right, and you know you've got like quite a
Something
it's just something you're working on something special. There's been definitely times where I've been like at the end of the like on some of our early stuff, I've kind of gone a wee bit like, oh god, like I need to get out. Yeah, I need to get out of here. But no, like this new stuff like is like really something like quite special that we've been working on, and like we're all like really excited to just like get it out and like get the songs out into the world. It's been quite a long time for us. So yeah, we've took our time. We've put out, like, we're not a cover band, we're not a cover band, but we've been doing a lot of covers just to sort of like tick things over. So we don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be like such a for me, like it would be such a total like weight off my shoulders when like the songs when the first one does eventually kind of come out, because I know like it's gonna go down really well.
Yeah, I think like when we were doing the covers and stuff, like the live sessions at PJ's, or the ones that we did kind of through lockdown, they were like quite. I don't know. They were like quite like live. They were supposed to be like just like a live thing, and they were like in and out and just like. But like with these songs at the time, especially, they were so like it's too different. I think from the other Moonlight Zoo stuff as well in the past. So it's like you couldn't really just put out an acoustic version of it. It needs to be like the first thing people kind of heard it. It needed to be like full band and like as close to the record as it could. So like especially with this like the one that's coming out end of the year, like it's quite different. It's got a lot of different layers. We needed like them all to be there, and we did it at PJ's, and it was like great because we had like we had like the full drum set up, and Danger came along and played his bit.
Who's Danger, John?
Danger Spain he's a amazing saxophone player who's an even more amazing person, and his name is literally like legally middle name is Danger.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. But he came and played on it, so it's got a cool surprise at the end. Listen to it.
Yeah.
Not really a surprise anymore.
Quite a lot. Cool.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. I just told
well,
him.
well, yeah. It will still sound surprising. Yeah. But yeah, his name is Danger.
Yeah.
Excellent. It's
Andy Danger Spain, and his middle name's Danger because he lost a bet. He lost a drinking bet. He's in the military, and they take these drinking games very seriously.
Yeah.
So he had to change his. That was one of the forfeits, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he did it.
And he did it.
Followed through on it, so hat off to him.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
great.
like, he really lives up to the name.
Yeah,
because he's the coolest guy ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so cool. Such a legend.
Yeah.
We were doing a music video, and like for like this first single that we were gonna put out, and it's like I'm actually like I play a lot of like piano, like keys on the track, and there's like a little bit in the video where I'm playing the piano, and it was like a lot of like logistics trying to like move it about and stuff, and then like Andy like Danger like rocked up like half the day was gone, and it was the set was already set up and ready to go, and we'd been doing it for a bit, and then like at the end of the day he was just like, oh, like I used to be a piano remover, like I used to do piano removal, and I was like, where were you when we needed to load in this thing?
He was so nonchalant. I just said,
just
oh yeah, I used to do
it.
this.
He's like, oh yeah, like we'll do this, and he started showing us how to like fold it up, and I was like, oh my god, like
and offered to help.
I know. We got him on the way out, so
he had to borrow your shoes as well.
Yeah, to borrow my shoes.
Why did you have to borrow your shoes?
For the music video, because like our stylist Muir thought that he could have had better shoes on, so John lent him some Converse.
Yep.
Nice.
So they're my Converse in the video, if anyone's wondering.
Fun fact.
It's he's the best. Absolutely love him. I wish we could have him on every single show, and we'll have him as much as we can, because there's no one like him. It's great. He makes it.
That's great. You said the sound of these new songs is quite different to the old stuff you've released.
I would say so.
There's definitely still like the like running theme that's like the Moonlight Zoo kind of sound, but there's been like, I don't know, it's strange. There's just more. I think it's like, remember we watched this like interview thing with the Killers, and like they were talking. It's great. They were talking about like when they were like doing one of their songs, and like it was kind of early in their time. Like they said they wanted to use the toys the big boys would use.
Yeah,
like
the
when
big
they were
boy
in the
sound.
studio.
Big
So it
boy
was
sound.
like different instruments, like the Verve using like strings and stuff for like Bittersweet Symphony, and we were like, what can we do? So we're thinking about a lot of that with these songs, where in the past it was like more like stick to like what you can do live, like drums, bass, vocals and guitars, and like just go with that. And I mean there was definitely layers in like the old Moonlight Zoo songs, but there's just way more now, I think.
Yeah,
it's like,
there's like full like like you could like have a full like orchestral like arrangement like with some of the parts if like you had like if you were like if we were doing like a live session of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think a lot of that's like Richie's influence as well because he can like arrange and like write like full or like orchestral parts. Like just like, you know, with the sax coming in, it just felt right. There's like there's a couple of little like, you know, brass stuff going on. Yeah. It just is a lot of synthier as well. There's like a lot more like it's a lot more keys driven. So that's like something that we've never really like done. I would say like the old sound was a bit more like sort of like on the back of what you were saying, the old sound was a bit more like a sort of like indie kind of band thing.
Yeah.
Where we've kind of went like full like pop really, but
I think to me, like, I can't really speak for you guys because like you obviously wrote the songs before, and I never like I've seen it, like I would watch them and I kind of seen the evolution and like the change in it, but I never like obviously was there. So to me, I think it's just like we're just really open minded with now, like we'll like use anything.
Yeah.
And, like if like, you know, before I think it's tricky to think about like I wonder how a violin would sound on it or something because you can't play the violin and we don't know someone that can play it. But now like Richie's got all these contacts, like people from the band and stuff that can do that stuff.
Yeah.
We're just like, how would it sound?
Yeah,
like let's try and like do it on like MIDI or something, hear it, and then like actually maybe speak to someone that can play. You know,
the limitations are like endless.
Yeah, or at least even just like thinking like they are, and then maybe logistically it is too hard to whatever like have like a huge orchestra on like a live gig. But like you know, if you think like that it's not an issue, then like I feel like when we're writing them, you just like try more.
Yeah.
And like I think
more
these are a product of that. Yeah. It's good.
So you've just sort of built upon your old sound, added more layers.
I think so.
You've got quite a distinctive sound, the old stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's like it's also a sum of like everyone's influences as well, and because Richie's there, he's like got different influences, you know, that he's bringing, and like you can hear it in his playing. Like he plays he plays with like a mixture of all his drum influences and like himself, and it's good. Like it's all over these songs.
His drumming style is like really like quite like precise and like military-esque because of the job that he had like in the military. Did folk know? Did we say that he plays in the Queen's band, like the Royal Marine Band?
He's in a band.
He plays in a
She's
band.
The front woman.
He plays in the band with the Queen.
Great.
So like it's like quite regimented, I think is the terminology I was looking for. And it's like there's a lot of like drum overdubs with like quite like sort of like gated like 80s tom sounds, quite Phil Collins-esque. So it's like him joining the band has like put it into that direction, and you know we kind of just like, oh well, it's going this way, we're just gonna like lean on this because it feels natural, and it did just kind of happen naturally.
Yeah, I think that like this town, well, city now. This
City, yeah.
This city is absolutely full of like just like great music. Like it, like I love that you can kind of just go out anywhere and like see, you know, like the Cognac Twins here or whoever, like Stevie, everyone, like, and that's just like, and like there's covers and stuff, but like they all do their own stuff as well, and you get like so many different bands, but it's like total bursting with it. I always had an amazing scene, obviously, like Nazareth, Big Country, Skids, all these people, but it's nice that like it's still kind of happening. And, you know, you get like Outwith Festival and that happening. It's great. It's just always kind of been there. It's like how I got into it. It was just like going to see all these bands in the town, and then I met Jamie after he passed me for a year and a bit. Like, but then I did meet him.
A year and a bit. I was just adding on to the timeline.
It's gonna be 2 years.
It's gonna be 2 years at the end of next year. It's gonna be 2 years.
Yeah. Right. Well, so great.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming.
Absolutely.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Very great having you guys, and I think you're gonna sing a song for us, right?
I'm gonna sing a little
Yeah.
song. Do you
Oh,
want to
you
sing a
can
little
sing a
song?
little song?
Good,
I will sing a little song
Yeah.
for
What
you guys.
what song are you gonna sing for us?
We are going to do an acoustic version of
Toxic by Britney Spears. No, we're gonna do Survive by
You had
Jamie
that
Adamson.
queued up there. Well played, man. Well played. We're gonna do an acoustic version of our song "Survive."
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you very
That's
much.
already out, by the way.
Oh, right, this is an old song.
Yeah, this is an old song.
So,
Yeah, this is an oldie. It's on Spotify if you want to go listen to the actual full band version.
You say too old to make it, too young to fight my way through. 'Cause I made too many mistakes. These mistakes were made for you. There's still time to be who you wanna be now. There's some time to be who you wanna be now. There's some time to be who you wanna be now. But you can take your time. God knows you're taking all of mine. Just don't leave me behind. Now that our love is on the line, love is on the line. You said to pick your face the music. These words are useless. 'Cause I've made too many excuses, too many excuses. There's still time to be who you wanna be now. There's still time to be who you wanna be now. There's still time to be who you wanna be now. But you can take your time. God knows you're taking all of mine. Just don't leave me behind. Now that our love is on the line, love is on the line. Who will survive? Who will survive? Who will survive? Who